Our approach to the problems is what we call holistic. Our approach is always very personal and tailored. One doctor is assessing the client. One is the psychiatrist, one is the doctor of bio, and one is the medical doctor. With medical, we also have something that is very important for me. I call that personally the matrix. If you see a doctor, then you want to be recognized and seen as a person, as a whole person. You don't want to jump a doctor only on one problem. And this is not only medically, also personally, of course. And we divide that. We have on the one side a personal, a general doctor, and the other part of the matrix is the specialists. And we have a network with the best specialists here, and we work together in the matrix. The generalist who overlooks the whole patient, and the specialists who see the special problems. We have quite a lot of complex clients from all over the world, and I often hear what we bring as the most important point is that the doctors carefully speak with each other, that they exchange and find together a solution. This among us in the client, in the Kusnacht practice, but also this cooperating with our partner specialists. And quite often, if I have really a complex patient who maybe comes, is very feeling bad, I even accompany him to the maybe one or two specialists. So I really get exactly the opinion of all components. If I involve another doctor, I ask the client, is it okay if I involve the cardiologist? I only involve our partner doctors in what is necessary. This is very selectively done and always only with consent of the patient. What I observe is that many clients do not want to go to a hospital. And we are not a hospital, we are a practice, and we have our very private villas. And so of course they come here because they don't want to get in a very strict environment where they lose their freedom. And with many clients we can completely give the freedom for everyday life. The communication. Probably most physicians on the world are always short in time. Don't have the time to exchange with other doctors, really to build up the whole story. I just recently had a doctor just staying a bit in one of our hospitals to see European medicine, and when I asked him in the end, what is the difference between a Swiss hospital and a hospital in your country, I thought he speaks about specialized MRI or God knows what. He only told me the doctors here cooperate in Switzerland. And I asked him, how is it in your hospital at home? And he said, if I ask another doctor a question, I lose my face. In admission, I recently had a discussion with a lady doctor from India. She sat here, she was very quiet and balanced. And she told me, and that's so true, she always starts with only listening to the client. And she usually she gives a quarter of an hour only to listening. And then she already knows much more than if going through in an organized way and looking at MRIs that have been done and everything. Only first listening, and we usually do that as well. We can do that because we have the time that is necessary. I try to put myself in the client to feel and to understand, and that's the start. And then, of course, the medical workup comes, and afterwards everything is put together. We usually go on with the help, with giving advice to the client for as long as he wishes. I think it's one thing we can do well and which is very important. We always try to bring plans to the ground. Because if you go to wellness somewhere, often you have you should. But every year you should. And we really try to bring plans to the ground. The second thing that is always a big pleasure if somebody leaves us and he or she tells, I feel like a newborn being. That is always very satisfactory.